story of Avatar, Frontiers of Pandora is about Sarentu. These children were taken from their clan at a really young age and they've been brought up in a human RDA facility.
The game starts with you actually in school. You're a Navi, but you're being raised by the RDA, the militaristic corporation, the bad guys of the story.
So they're kind of divorced from their culture and their people and brought up to use human weapons and to understand humanity.
When the game starts and you actually step onto Pandora for the first time, you're Navi, you're of this world of Pandora, but you've never been there. And you have to learn everything and unravel the mysteries of your past, what happened in school, who put you there, and deal with the trauma that upbringing actually brought.
The theme of being a child of two worlds is one that resonates with me. I'm dual heritage, so there's always that feeling of being neither one thing or the other, or being in an in-between place, or being too much of one and not enough of another. And the player character goes through those moments of being, but I'm not Navi, like, can I do this? And trying to find their place in the world.
Ewa, we enter your welcoming arms, at one with all things connected through you. Guide this traveler, bring them to the heart of the nest.
It's about their journey to becoming Navi and finding out what that means for them. So we do have 3 other clans that they meet. There are the Aranahe, who live in a sort of rainforest climate. They weave silk and they're very elegant and, you know, sort of the poet type artist clan. Then there are the Zeswa. They live in symbiosis with these huge placid creatures called Zakru, and their tents lean up against the side of these creatures for warmth and protection from the winds that travail the grasslands they live on. And they are bright and bold, but they like to party. The third clan are the Kamatire, and they live in the clouded forest, so they're a reclusive, mysterious clan. They are surrounded by moss and fog and sort of pine trees, and the character of the clan kind of reflects that, so they're more wary of strangers, both as a culture and for story reasons. So there's a mystery surrounding the Kamatire.
Every single aspect in the Avatar universe fits together, right? This is something that you see in the Avatar films.
There are lore parameters that we must abide by, and this applies to both world building and narrative. When we started the project, Lightstorm sent over a vast amount of information, everything from the Pandorapedia to Navi cultural information. And I was surprised that it included taxonomy and biological mechanisms and all sorts of information. They've done research on everything.
There's an incredible amount of detail in the game. Everything from the choice of the Navi clothing that they wear, to the places that they live, to the tint of their eyes, to the animals and how they fit within the environment and how they've evolved to their surroundings.
In the world of Avatar, everything must be backed by science. There can't be any fantasy technology or seemingly magical creatures or plants. So our content creation team uses Earth technology and sciences as a foundation when creating new content.
Creating new wildlife was an enormous endeavor, and it was a really big collaboration with the Lightstorm team that made this happen. The same people who have worked on the films to create the wildlife have helped us create the wildlife here. The Soundblast Colossus, as we showed in our trailer, is this enormous kind of almost Stegosaurus-looking style creature, and it has these air kind of vents, and it can actually use the wind of the upper plains. It's adapted to use that, to actually suck it in and then blow it out, and it actually creates kind of an attack because it's such a force and such a kind of sonic resonance that it actually disorients nearby things and kind of makes them go away if it feels threatened. You have the clouded forest, which is foggy, damp, a little bit cooler, and you'll notice that all of the animals and all of the plant life have adapted to shorter sight lines, muffled sounds, a damper environment, and the clans reflect that too. And so all of these details really meld together into something that I think if you look really closely, you can really tell how much care and how much thought has gone behind everything.
So the Avatar universe is broad and beautiful, and it offers us this mirror to our own world. On our planet, we're dealing with climate change and very extreme weather conditions.
So obviously we've incorporated that into the story because we're right there at the events of the movies, but we're also incorporating it into gameplay. You attack bases and liberate the land, right? But when you do that, pollution also drops, and that changes everything, your power, everything you can harvest, the crafting loops, and there's other gameplay and facilities that you get access to. Pandora is more than just what they see in the movie. It is a huge world.
There's loads of opportunities to tell small stories and big stories, and also reflect on ourselves, our place within the natural world, how we interact with it.
The Avatar universe has a lot of real-world correlations, which also serve as a warning on our own behavior on Earth.
There are many clans, and the clans are different. They have different cultures, they have different styles, they have different look, and just like here on Earth, they have small physical differences, but inside they're all Na'vi.